The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
This is the premier podcast for late model dirt track racing. This is Forward Bite, hosted by superfan and actual know-it-all Kyle Armstrong on the Speed Sport Podcast Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Forward Bite Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Armstrong.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Lernerville Speedway for tonight's Freedom 100 presented by SpringRithm here for the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. As always, I'm Travis Piercefield on Extreme eSpeed TV alongside Adam Johnson. And Adam, big night here tonight as we're back in racing action. A lot of cars here, currently 19 cars unloaded, and this is a double points night as well.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a howling good time tonight as we are here for the 5th annual Freedom 100 presented by SpringRithm. And I'll tell you what, it is the first of 3 straight double point races. And so a lot on the line. And when I say a lot on the line, I'm mostly speaking about the guys trying to chase down Dylan Perry. Now, our points leader has 7 wins on the season, more than double the man behind him, Brandon Combs, with his 3 wins. So it's going to be a tough one, and you know I kind of have bad news for the rest of the field, and it looks to be a full field of 19 cars for the most part. Last week, when Dylan Perry won his race, he kind of sounds like he's comfortable driving at Lernerville. So he's here in Pennsylvania. He's been running some laps. I'm looking at times right now. He's 5th fastest, and you look at that beautiful Hooters machine there from the race director, Cody Early. I know he was between a couple different schemes today, chose this one. And I'll tell you what, Travis, it is a beautiful, sunny evening. Starting to set, though, and that's when the lights come on, when these stars shine tonight. So we're excited that you're joining us on Extreme eSpeed TV. And if you've got predictions and whatnot, feel free to drop it in the chat. But someone will be right there in victory lane on your screen tonight. And I'll tell you what, 100 laps. We've got a little bit of time before we get there. But it is going to be a heck of a battle. And I'll give you a quick rundown of our events tonight. We're going to start with some hot laps, which have been running. Fastest time right now is the rookie Kenny Haight. John Hine, we saw him come back last week. He's 2nd fastest right now with Van Weston 3rd. So some interesting top 3 there in the hot laps. But drivers meeting taking place right now. And then Houston Guttering time trials, they'll get 3 laps each, so count them with us when we start to read them off on the roster. And we'll have our carrier heat races, those are 8 laps each, followed by the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown, which is 12 laps each. And then we'll have our opening ceremonies, including the national anthem, and then the 5th annual Freedom 100 laps, first of 3 double points races.
Well, and a lot of excitement, as we mentioned, 19 cars currently unloaded. There's rumors that Tater Williams may be one of those drivers returning tonight to the series. He is someone that has battled Dylan Perry for wins in the past, so it'll be nice to see him back on the track. And then Adam, I know we talk about him a lot. Currently 5 rookies here unloaded and ready to go. The one that has been fast all season long, Jason Crow, not currently here, so an opportunity for some other rookies to make a move there in the point standings.
Yeah, and when we talked about the time, the heats, basically, we talked about the quickest times. I'll tell you what, Kenny Haight, this is a prime opportunity. Fastest in practice. He's 2nd in the Rookie of the Year standings. He actually has a win, even though he still trails Jason Crow, who does not have a win. So Kenny Haight, 131 points back. He's been in all but one of the feature events. So a double points race. I'll tell you what, he can make up some big ground, not only in the overall standings, but of course those AC Custom Graphics Rookie of the Year standings.
Well, with that is our pre-race coverage here from Lernerville tonight. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got Houston Guttering time trials here from the Freedom 100 from Lernerville Speedway. You're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Welcome back to Lernerville Speedway as we are headed on to Houston Guttering Time Trials next. Of course, we'll have single car qualifying here, Adam, and then we'll get to some beating and banging with those carrier heat races.
Yeah, when a driver is beating and banging, you don't want it to be early in the night. These cars we have 100 laps. You got to kind of be careful. I'm glad you kind of mentioned that because it's going to be a very long evening and you want to keep these cars. And so I think carrier heat races and the Last Chance Showdown race, you may see a little more contact. They're going to try and avoid that. And honestly, I feel like they're going to be pretty spaced out on the flip side of really what we saw last week where, 4 or 5 laps? Every 4 or 5 laps we had a caution just based on, the urgency of the so few laps last week. But this week, I think it's going to be a little more spaced out. We may even see less cautions in 100 laps than what we saw last week with half the amount. So appreciate everyone jumping into the chat. I know we've got someone watching from Memphis, someone in Florida, someone back home. So I'll tell you what, we've got the prediction there for the number 75. Not able to read what the second comment says, but it looks like Andy Piercefield's got a winning vote for tonight.
As cars are starting to roll out for Houston Guttering Time Trials, looks like Brandon Marlowe may be one of the first drivers out onto the track. First group, Kendrick Hicks, Brandon Marlowe, Andy Piercefield, and Cody Early.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. The crowd's starting to roll in. Yeah, full 19 cars. We've been kind of having about 14 or 15 with, different commitments that each driver has, and this is kind of a fun one right here. This is a very unique track. If you haven't watched it before, we'll kind of ride along with you eventually today. As it looks like, speaking of riding out there, it'll be the 37 of Brandon Marlowe from Benton, Missouri, with Hot Laps Heroes Racing, Tintech Seamless Guttering, and Crow Trucking, that Capital Race Car Chassis and Custom Race Engine. It's got 17 top 5s in this series. And as a reminder, it'll be 3 qualifying laps for each driver.
Also on the track is Kendrick Hicks. He's from Willard, Kentucky. Econo Cool, Shane Bailey Racing, Bernie Racing Solutions, Michael Boggs Photography, AC Custom Graphics. It's his first season as he's a rookie here. He's got 8 top 10s in 11 starts. As Marlowe will shoot to the top of the charts, a 14.79. Hicks second fastest, a 14.93.
Yeah, Hicks with 8 top 10s so far in his time with the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. And seeking that first top 5 could happen tonight as you see him pull off. And we'll see who pulls up next for Houston Guttering Time Trials. Ooh, a little bit of a rough start there for our 2023 Rookie of the Year, Austin McGlone, but it looks like he's straightened things out. From Hillsboro, Kentucky, he's got Chip Bangers Racing, FHP Consulting, KMJ Graphics, Cooler Heating and Cooling, Project X Coating, and Bluegrass Motorsports Media. That's Schwartz Chassis. And Mullins Race Engine on the inside. He's got 8 career wins, 28 top 5s.
Next on the track's Andy Piercefield from Ball Ground, Georgia, Extreme eSpeed TV, Evans Air Conditioning, Arizona Sports Shirts, Piercefield Media Group, Masterbuilt Race Car. He's got 11 top 10s and 70 career starts.
I want to give another shout out to the chat. Joey, who you've heard us mention on many broadcasts, finally got that ointment taken care of, and he's back out there predicting another Andy Piercefield strong performance tonight. So appreciate Joey watching from the Memphis Penitentiary.
So Austin McGlone will be fastest, a 14.67. Andy Piercefield, 4th fastest, a 15.06.
And look at that, the beautiful Hooters car out there from the original driver and race director, promoter himself, Cody Early from Greenville, Tennessee. That also got Bass Pro Shop, Schaefer's Racing Oil, Hoosier Racing Tires, Oakley Sunglasses, and Bowman Designs, but he's rocking a little bit of throwback tonight, that BMF race car chassis and Big Hill Racing engine. He's got 6 top 10s. Let's get number 7 tonight and do it for Dale.
Also out on the track from Knoxville, Tennessee, it's Dawson Lowe. Integra Shocks, Bruce Built Performance, making his first career start here tonight with the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. As you can see, Dawson will shoot up to 4th fastest, a 14.83. Cody Early, 6th fastest, a 15.23.
So McGlone showing us why he is one of the most feared in the series. Doesn't get to race in all the races, but still knocks the rest off quickly when he does get out there. Ooh, a little bit of a scary drop off there for Lowe as he goes high. And we'll wait and see who's coming out next.
As Evan Hinkle's going to be a part of that next group coming out on the track. But first, it's going to be that Joshua Johnson 117 machine from Waynesville, Georgia. Vortex Wraps, A.W. Willingham Trucking. Vortex Motorsports. He's got 1 top 5, 11 top 10s in 50 career starts.
And look at that speed right there. He looks fast tonight. Dylan Perry with a 16 flat on his first time by, but he's just warming up. Perry, our 2022 and 2023 champion from Ringgold, Georgia, repping that Evans air conditioning and Extreme eSpeed TV. Got that CDR race car and Phantom race engine. The most series wins with 27, and right now it's not even close, making a 64th start tonight.
Little Kayleen was one of the Little Racer winners earlier tonight. She chose to ride on the back of that P7 machine. Dylan Perry, 2nd fastest, a fan favorite here with the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, of course. 14.74 his time.
And look who's back. Tater's back. Speaking of all-time wins, he is not far behind Dylan Perry if he decides to race a little bit more with us. But Tater Williams, a former champion himself, looking real sharp. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be real fast tonight.
Also out on the tracks, that 69 machine of Aiden Young from Dalton, New Hampshire. He has 1 career win here in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Young Gun Creations, the Farmyard store. So time's coming in. Tater Williams will jump up to 3rd fastest. That's a 14.78. Aiden Young 9th fastest currently as he finishes up his lap, a 15.07.
So 10 down, 9 to go. Austin McGlone up top with a 14.67. Oh my goodness, I'll tell you what, McGlone and Perry, they are going to battle back and forth as they always do when they are racing. And no shock, really, that you've got McGlone, Perry, and Williams in your top 3. You're getting our first look now at the 28 machine of Brandon Combs, one of our original drivers from Cincinnati, Ohio, with the Super Dirt Car Series, Chip Bangers Racing, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, and many more with that big pimpin' race car by Perry Chassis and Phantom Race Engine. He has 6 career wins.
Also on the track, that 224 machine of Tyler Benefield. Tyler from Huntsville, Alabama, Dylan Perry Racing, Foskey Illustrations, Rapid Race Graphics, Huffman Tire, Chip Banger Racing, Liberty Racing. That's a Bob Pierce race car, Phantom engine. He's got 1 top 5, 8 top 10s in 10 career starts. So Brandon Combs 7th fastest, a 14.88. Benefield currently 11th fastest with a 15.19.
We're getting through them here at Lernerville as hopefully you're settling in for a real fun and long night tonight. John Hine did well in the hot laps, is back out there. Good to see him on the track from St. Louis, Missouri with Bath Pro Shops, Extreme eSpeed TV, and Gambler Motorsports with that Rocket XR1 chassis and Durham Racing engine. He's got 6 top 5s, still chasing that elusive first career win, and it could happen tonight at a track that he's run laps on before.
So John Hine, our 13th driver to make a lap. He'll jump up to 8th fastest, a 14.90. So we'll ride along inside with John as he makes his way around 3 and 4 for his final lap. Great camera work as always by little brother Andy. He was setting him up this afternoon in a light mist of a rain. Of course, that passed quickly for tonight's racing action.
Yeah, no, he missed some time. He was traveling. Good time out west. And speaking of a good time, we're going to see that with the 52, the rookie right there, Hayden Swaney from Chatsworth, Georgia, with DPR, Chip Bangers Racing, and Twisted Race Engines. That CVR race car and Twisted Performance engine.
Well, and you're used to Jordan Van Westen. Tonight we got Josh Van Westen making his first career start from Harrisburg, South Dakota, FRC Motorsports. It's an FRC chassis and engine. Patriotic looking machine there as we head into the Memorial Day weekend.
Yes, very on brand as you see Swaney jump up to 12th. Still, the heavy hitters up front, McGlone, Perry, Williams, your top three, is Weston pops up to 13th just behind Hayden. Hayden jumps up to 10th, so a little bit of movement in the last few moments.
As Josh will make his final lap complete this time by. As he will hold par, he will be 13th fastest with 5 drivers remaining. So an even 20 drivers here tonight for a full field here from Lernerville.
Another Brandon hopping out there. Another original driver, Brandon Bender from Minford, Ohio, with B&B Custom Bates and Combs Cuts with that Rocket XR1 chassis and Clemens Racing engine. 20 top fives, looking for that elusive first win as well.
Also on the track, another OG driver from Dresden, Tennessee. Team Hot Lap Heroes, Larson Logistics, Crow Trucking, Tintec. That's Jacob Lassiter. He's got 2 wins in 87 career starts, currently tied with Cody Early for the most starts in series history. As Bender was 10th fastest his lap, now down to 11th as Jacob Lassiter will move up to 7th fastest, a 14.88.
Lassiter jumping up, like you said, and see if he can get any more additional time. And 17 down, just about done.
As both those drivers pull on off, that'll leave Kenny Haight, Evan Hinkle, and Colin Voiles as our remaining drivers.
Kind of some breaking news in the chat from race promoter Cody Early, as Jordan Van Westen is now the Pro Late Model Dirt Series race director, is what it sounds like to me.
Well, out on the track right now is that 46 of Kenny Haight from Benton, Louisiana. Hot Lap Heroes, Crow Trucking, Tintec Seamless Gutters, iRacing, iFlag, Marco's Moose Ranch, Hair Care, and Tire Center. One career win for the rookie already this year.
Another rookie out there, Evan Hinkle from Barberville, Kentucky, with Smith's Guttering and Siding, Keltner's Contracting, Smith's Sealing, and Newton Cattle Farms. That Longhorn chassis and Hendren race engine. 2 top fives, looking for his first win tonight. It'll be a good time.
So Evan Hinkle, 12th fastest. Kenny Haight will end up 18th fastest after his run. Evan was someone that was in the mix last race, cycled through as he made his way around, and now the final car out there, it is the 1C machine of Colin Voiles from Decatur, Illinois, Trimbley & Sons Concrete, Building Systems of Illinois, Vortex Wraps. He's got 68 career starts, 22 top 10s, 2 top 5s. As he is 20th fastest on his first lap. As Austin McGlone looking to hold on for the quick time here. Colin Voiles will move up to 13th fastest. And for the final lap, Colin Voiles will make his way around. He will end up lucky number 13, and that means Austin McGlone will be your quick time here at Lernerville. And with that, Adam, we'll head into our carrier heat races.
Yeah, that's right. Carrier heat race number 1 will be starting shortly. As the fans continue to pile in, we'll get it reset for you. And when we do know that order, we will share that with you. But if I had to guess, we may get 4 sets of 5.
Another great crowd, Adam. I know you had a couple autograph seekers on your way up here to the booth before Houston Guttering time trials.
Those were just lot lizards. And Gary heat race number 1. We led Austin McGlone, Brandon Marlowe. Row 2, Jacob Lassiter and Joshua Johnson. Row 3, Colin Boyles and Aiden Young with Kenny Haight starting 7th. So looks like we might just have the 3 carrier heat races tonight.
So we'll get them rolling out. For our first racing action of the night, here in carrier heat race number 1. So they will make their way around. Lights are off the pace truck. Means we'll go to green next time by. Austin McGlone, our quick time, alongside Brandon Marlowe, Jacob Lassiter, top 3. Some of our heavy hitters in the league.
Yeah, this is going to be a good battle right here. These are some drivers that are pretty talented, and I always enjoy these carrier heat races because they're often groups that we don't always get to see race together in tight packs. It looks like they head to green.
Green flag waves. Austin McGlone, Brandon Marlowe take us off into turn number 1 side by side. McGlone will slide up in front of Marlowe. Marlowe will shoot the gap down the backstretch as Lassiter looks to the inside. It's going to be Brandon Marlowe as they head off into 3.
Man, Marlowe looks quick, and if he can get that preferred top line right now, it's hard to see him getting beat because he just looks like he's speedy right now. But I tell you what, Lassiter is used to kind of running guys down. Ooh, a little loose there for, looks like, Johnson.
As they make their way around, Marlowe's able to pull away. Lassiter has claimed that second spot now as he'll slide up in front of that 41 of McGlone. Joshua Johnson trying to enter the picture as well, as now the 41 of McGlone battling back on the inside of Lassiter.
That's right. Heck of a battle taking place right now with 5 to go and a little bit of space compared to what we saw in the first couple laps, but they're all still staying pretty tight together right now.
You can see that momentum there, back of the pack. Colin Boyles, Aiden Young side by side. That's for the 6th position. Everyone up in front of them, single file. As out front, it's still Brandon Marlowe halfway, coming to 3 to go here in carrier heat race number 1. And of course, those guys in the back trying to avoid that last chance showdown. Although tonight's 100 lap feature event, plenty of time to make your way up through the field if you do happen to have to start at the rear.
Yeah, and then, it's about almost a year ago to the date where we had that tire compound update, and that has been a game changer, especially in races like this where you've got some length to it, 100 laps. So we'll see how that plays out tonight, how hard and aggressive guys get as we approach the final lap. Brandon Marlowe, see if he can hold out. Oh, McGlone cutting some grass.
Doesn't pay off as Marlowe's able to hold on to the lead. Lassiter will hold on to second as they'll go through 3 and 4 for the final time. Lassiter goes all the way upstairs, but it's Brandon Marlowe, carrier heat race number 1 winner, as he will start on the pole of tonight's Freedom 100 as we move on to Carrier Heat Race number 2.
That's right. Carrier Heat Race number 2 will be led by the back-to-back defending champion Dylan Perry, side by side with Kendrick Hicks. Behind them, Brandon Combs and Brandon Bender, so a couple of Brandons in row 2. Behind them, a couple of rookies, Hayden Swaney and Josh Van Westen, with Cody Early rounding out the rear. We're just going to have you savor that starting lineup right now as we pull that off. Graphics doing a great job. Pace Truck doing a great job. Leadfoot Larry, good to see him getting through some physical therapy to keep that lead foot hammered down.
So lined up 2x2 around as lights go off the Pace Truck, getting ready to go back to racing action.
This time by, we'll be flying.
Green flag waves. Dylan Perry will jump out front. Hicks has that outside line, but Combs is going to follow that P7 up to the front as Hayden Swaney also looking to move up as he'll fall back as they head down the backstretch. Hicks has the momentum right to the bumper of the 28.
Yes, he does, and man, it is going to be an interesting night. I think we're going to see different grooves in this track as you get a great look right there. It is hands constantly moving. Oh, yeah, you do not want to be the guy who spills over, and we've seen that. We saw it last year several times. You know, not only during qualifying, but during races where guys would go right over that ledge right there, and it looks like they're staying pretty tight. It doesn't look too loose and slippery just yet.
Again, this one playing out here early like Carrier Heat Race number 1. Dylan Perry able to jump out to the lead. Everyone else behind him trying to find a move. Nothing as of yet as their nose to tail middle of the line there. You got to go back towards the back of the pack. Aiden Swaney will get out of shape. That gives Van Westen the opportunity to move up. As up front, it's still Brandon Combs trying to chase down that P7 of Dylan Perry.
Yeah, and with the race of this length, if there's a groove you want to try, if there's things you want to test right now, I would do it right now rather than putting yourself at risk in the main event. So if you know you're not going to take, the checkered flag as the leader here, get a little creative. It's going to be real hard, especially with that much space between Perry and Combs. He doesn't make mistakes. You can almost throw the opportunity of pulling this one off out the window. So try things as we approach just under 2 laps to go.
So Dylan Perry out front, 2 laps to go. Combs still in second. Hicks third, Bender fourth, Cody Early up into the 5th spot as this one's got him stretched out. Bender takes a peek to the inside, nothing there. He'll fall back behind Hicks now as the white flag waves.
Perry flying to the finish line. It'll be Dylan Perry, your Carrier Heat Race number 2 winner. Carrier Heat Race number 3 will be led by Tater Williams and Dawson Lowe. Row 2, John Hine and Evan Hinkle. Row 3, Andy Piercefield and Tyler Benefield. So the pace truck waiting for them to roll out as they begin to right now. crowd just filling this place up right now. One of our more unique tracks for many reasons, but you'll notice you drive a little different mentally when you know you don't have that barrier on the outside. We've seen a lot of guys hitting the trees out there. Entertaining for us, stressful for them.
So Tater, Williams, Dawson, Lowe. So you have someone that's made many a starts with many a wins here in this series, and Tater Williams on the pole. Next to him you have Dawson Lowe making his first career start. And that's how they will line up there at the front.
A lot of these guys are the ones you're going to see battling hard in that that top 10 range, just historically from what we've seen. So these are the guys who enjoy what their cars look like right now, because they are going to get down and dirty tonight.
Green flag waves. Tater Williams takes us back to green. Dawson Lowe looking to the outside. John Hine, Andy Piercefield also down on that inside line here early in this one. Good runs for them as they make their way down the back stretch. Oh, John Hine and Dawson make contact. They go down into those trees that you talked about, Adam. And you can see John Hine from that beautiful drone shot. Whoa!
Oh, Johnny! Oh, Johnny. Not good. That might be the old school concussion test in the NFL. How many fingers am I holding up? If you get within a couple, we'll get you back out there, John. And yeah, not what you wanted to see. Not sure he's the most happy guy after that. And that's exactly what we tried to talk about and forewarn that you did not want to happen, but you knew it would. Just didn't expect that in a carrier heat race.
So still under caution. It looks like Dawson Lowe still in that work area. See if he can make his way back out there. So still under caution here, work crew working on that backstretch area where the drivers went down.
Looks like everything's about cleaned up now. And we will get the cars rolling out that. Tater to the front. He's got Piercefield to his rear. And we are back to green from Lernerville. Good start there from Hinkle on the outside, which can be the preferred lane, but Tater Williams got enough of a jump there to squeeze it out, and he looks like he's barely holding off, but man, what a run by Hinkle. Both looking very quick right now. We are still going green, crossing back and forth. Tater cannot find the grip, at least to match the speed that Hinkle is making up with, and this is arguably the best race and battle side-by-side we've seen tonight. It's Tater who takes it to the line right there, but still plenty of laps to go. Tater got a little bit of breathing room, but I emphasize the little, as it can move and go away quickly. And that battle back there also pretty tight, but Evan Hinkle giving Tater a run, but Tater not looking like he's got any rust at all. Continuing to slowly extend that lead. That's all you need to do. Each lap, if you can just get a little bit quicker and a little further away. Crosses the line. 2 to go now. Tater up front. Hinkle second.
So Hinkle holding down that second spot. He's got that gap to Tater Williams up ahead. Again, it looks like the leader's able to separate from the rest of the pack in these carrier heat races, as it's Tater Williams, Evan Hinkle, Dawson Lowe, your top 3 as the white flag waves.
Tater Williams coming around. And there you go. Carrier heat race number 3. Your winner, Tater Williams, followed by Evan Hinkle, Dawson Lowe, Tyler Benefield, John Hine, and Andy Piercefield.
And it's looking like no last chance showdown tonight, Adam. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have pre-race festivities here from Lernerville, as we've got tonight's Freedom 100 presented by SpringRithm here on Extreme eSpeed TV. We will be back after this quick commercial break.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
This is the premier podcast for late model dirt track racing. This is Forward Bite, hosted by superfan and actual know-it-all Kyle Armstrong on the Speed Sport Podcast Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Forward Bite Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Armstrong.
Welcome back to Lernerville Speedway as we get ready for tonight's Freedom 100. We'll throw it down to the PA announcer for tonight's national anthem. As the clock counts down to tonight's Freedom 100, we'll take one more quick break. When we come back, we'll have that starting lineup for the Freedom 100 presented by SpringRithm.
Introducing the latest technology in the racing industry, SpringRithm. SpringRithm is an app that can replace a spring smasher, giving you access to the same information the fast guys are using to stay ahead. The app tells you where to set your coilover nuts to hit your install loads and tells you the dynamic loads that the car will see in travel. It also simplifies adjustments at the track, giving you the information needed to adjust loads without taking the shock off the car. SpringRithm has been rigorously tested to ensure accuracy. There's no excuse to not be using SpringRithm.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Welcome back to Lernerville Speedway as we get ready for tonight's racing action. It's the Freedom 100 presented by SpringRithm. A lot of fast cars we've seen here tonight. Adam, anyone jumping out to you as maybe a favorite as we head into this 100-lapper?
Yeah, thanks Luke Combs for the fast car reference. I'm going to say it's the heavy hitters from what we saw in Houston Guttering time trials. I think it's going to be Tater Williams saying, hey, I may have left, but I'm back, and you'll never forget about me. I think that's going to be one. I think Austin McGlone is going to show us why he shines every time he's on the track. And really, I think he's going to be door-to-door most of this race with a guy like Dylan Perry. And you'll kind of see that where he's starting second right now. Dylan Perry, he's going to catch up. He's going to get there in due time. So kind of a fun lineup we've got right there, quite honestly. And it's, the unknown is what makes this race exciting. Not only the unknown for getting a lot of these guys back together for the first time in a while, but also this track, man. You're gonna see, and we already saw it in that was that second or third carrier heat race, and John Hine get run off the track. That's going to happen again tonight as these cars get more beat up. Steering doesn't always stay perfect, right? So, heck of a battle we're about to see tonight, and I'm glad everyone's tuning in with us here on Extreme eSpeed TV, getting a good shot right there of the official iRacing pace truck.
Well, that starting lineup's going to look like this tonight, Adam. It's Brandon Marlowe on the front row alongside Dylan Perry. Tater Williams makes his return from the third starting spot alongside Jacob Lassiter. Brandon Combs fifth next to Evan Hinkle. Austin McGlone, our quick time, starting 7th alongside Kendrick Hicks. Dawson Lowe makes his first career start alongside Joshua Johnson, rounding out the top 10. Starting 11th, it's Brandon Bender alongside Tyler Benefield. Kenny Hay, our rookie, starting 13th alongside Cody Early. John Hine, who had troubles in the heat races, starting 15th. Behind them, it's going to be, or beside John Hine is going to be Colin Voiles. In the next row, it's going to be Hayden Swanee alongside Andy Piercefield. And in our 10th and final row, it's going to be Aiden Young alongside Josh Van Westen, making his first career start as well. So 100 laps around this Lernerville Speedway is what we will see here tonight. You've got your running order over to the left as Brandon Marlowe and Dylan Perry are the ones that will lead us to green as they give that 4-wide salute to all of you watching on Extreme eSpeed TV and the great crowd we have here at Lernerville tonight.
Yeah, salute to these fans that have been watching all season with us. Appreciate all of you who've dropped comments as well in the Facebook, or rather YouTube chat. Continue to drop those comments in, predictions in. I know Andy Piercefield's got some love from some folks. Got some breaking news from a race promoter, so you never know what you'll see in the chat.
So 4 wide as they make their way around, getting closer and closer to that green flag dropping on this feature event tonight. Two by two they go as they make their way through 3 and 4. Green flag will wave this time by. It does. Green flag from Lernerville here for the Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
Man, a long time coming. Love to see a full field, a full crowd, and a full night of action as we are 1 lap in.
Great racing at the front. Marlowe looking to the inside there. Nothing available as Dylan Perry will hold on to the lead. See some side-by-side action further back in the pack. As Evan Hinkle looked to the middle there between Lassiter and Combs for a moment. He'll think the better of it and fall back into line. As great racing here to start our night.
Very great racing. Not a ton of movement. Really, your quote-unquote hard charger would be Kenny Haight up 2 spots. But other than that, everyone just kind of shifting 1 spot or moving around. Jacob Lassiter, I guess, down from his 4th place spot all the way down to 7th now. So we're 4 laps in.
Up front, Dylan Perry able to break away from Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe following in his tracks.
Racing continues on here from Lernerville. Getting a good look there at Brandon Combs. Also now Dylan Perry still out front, holding off Brandon Marlowe.
So Dylan Perry will hold on to that lead. Great racing back in the pack. You got Austin McGlone looking to the inside of Jacob Lassiter. Dawson Lowe in that 8th spot, holding down his starting position.
Yeah, different tail. Like I said, the urgency is different tonight when you got 100 laps. Look, Colin Boyle's missing that. Yeah, that guard kind of over his right front tire. See if that affects him any more tonight. My apologies, rather, McGlone missing that. As you can see that center screen right there.
He's still racing tough to the inside of Evan Hinkle here. This is a battle for the 5th spot. As we are quickly 10 laps into this one. There's great racing behind you. See Kendrick Hicks and Kenny Haight side by side there for a position. Dylan Perry continues to lead out front. Great racing action all the way around. You see Austin McGlone down there catching that lip of grass there through 3 and 4. All the way down, waiting for that inside line to move in. Maybe give an opportunity to make some moves there as you see Benefield and Bender side by side for the 11th position.
Well, you know, the series has had talks of, are we going to get into the betting industry in that? Well, we got a great over-under question that's been posed in the chat by Mr. Joey Garrison. Over/under, Travis, on cars into the trees tonight. Any predict? We've already seen one. It technically wasn't in the race, so I don't know. We have to talk with the odds makers, but I might put that at around 3.5. 13 laps in, it's been relatively safe.
Relatively safe. Have had some bumping and banging. You see Dawson and Haight make contact there. As Hicks will use the opportunity to look to the outside. His momentum gets slowed down by Lassiter, who's up ahead, but now they're using that outside line to make some moves. As Lassiter up into 6th, Hicks up into the 8th position.
Yeah, be careful what you're doing out there. Oh, 3 wide towards the finish line. Oh, a little bumping and banging. Haight, or rather Hicks. Ooh, real getting slippery right there.
Great racing there. Now up ahead, you've got Combs to the outside. Austin McGlone all the way, catching that inside corner of 4 again there. Is now Tater Williams looking to make his move. And you almost think maybe this group of cars up front conserving tires here as we're 16 laps into this. Nobody making any big moves and really just kind of riding along with where they're at right now.
Yeah, and I think it's follow the leader, not only in the sense of on track. Oh, first caution comes out.
Now it's Josh Van Westen. Looks like he went over the lip over there in 3 and 4. So first caution of the night here on lap number 17. Up front, it's Dylan Perry, Brandon Marlowe, Tater Williams, Austin McGlone, and Brandon Combs, your top 5.
Yeah, and what I was saying, kind of follow the leader right now with Dylan Perry on the track, but also follow his strategy. If he's rolling up front, this is a guy who tends to know exactly what he's doing. As Joey says, he's hammering the over on cars going over tonight, and tell you what, it's a good start for all the over bettors. But Dylan Perry, if he's running up front, you got to think others got to say, man, we got to keep pushing, because that's a strategy I'd follow.
So 17 laps into this one, all green until our first caution here. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Of course, lap traffic didn't come into play there with 17 green flag laps. We'll see if that occurs at any point here tonight. That has become an issue on some of the tracks we've visited in the past, especially 100-lap races. So 2x2, they're lined back up, going through 3 and 4. Green flag waves. Dylan Perry will get a great start there. Marlowe back in that outside line, so he will settle in there. Tater Williams trying to hold off Austin McGlone here early. Austin jumps right back down there to the inside, where he's ran here all night tonight.
All night long. And I'll tell you what, we are 18 laps in and not feeling like an all-nighter. They're moving quickly. Announcers jinx incoming possibly, but just about 20% of the way through this race and not a ton of movement, quite honestly. Well, I do want to say Kenny Haight, though, up 7 spots, battling, trying to get back up to 8 spots where I believe he was just a moment ago.
Josh Van Westen quickly moving up. He's moved up 3 spots since the start of this this last restart. So you can see Cody Early up ahead. Colin Voiles up there as well. He's up 4 spots since the start of this race as he rides in the 12th position. And look at that racing action up ahead. There is cars all over the place, Adam, as that is Kendrick Hicks looking to the inside of Dawson Lowe. Whoa, McGlone will jump that inside cushion as we will stay green 22 laps into this.
Yeah, he was kind of pushing for that cushion. And man, we are seeing some real, I'll say it right now, it is respectable driving. A lot of these guys are, you could easily kind of put your reputation at risk and make some daring moves, but they are very methodical right now, and I very impressed right now for what we're seeing. Not going to call it safe driving, but I'll tell you what, there's still over 60% of this, over 70% of this race to go. You don't do anything drastic right now. You don't want to be that guy, but eventually there will be the knob turned up on intensity, and you got to wonder who's going to kind of make that push and say, hey, this is the time to really get dramatic. I don't know when that'll be.
See Austin McGlone now settling into that 6th spot. That inside line not making it easy to get up to the front here of late, but Tater Williams is making it look easy as he'll go around Marlowe into that 2nd position now, as now he sets his sights on Dylan Perry up ahead.
Yep, this is very familiar, man. A battle. It's been too long since we've seen it, but we've seen it many times. I can think of a long list of moments like this between these two, and man, I sure have missed seeing this. All you got to do is get McGlone 1 spot up, and it is going to be the trio of the heaviest of hitters. But Brandon Marlowe sitting 3rd. He deserves to be in this mix, absolutely, and he's proven it. Oh, caution coming out. Dawson Lowe possibly.
So Dawson Lowe making his first career start here in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Takes a bad turn here on lap number 28.
And they're running pretty clean. They're all running pretty well right now, approaching that 30% mark.
So we'll line them back up. It's going to be Dylan Perry alongside Tater Williams on this restart, our 2nd restart of the night. So they'll get lined back up, Dawson back out on the track in the 20th position. As right now it's Kenny Haight in the 5th spot, up 8 spots. He is our Buttkicker hard charger leader for tonight as of right now. So 2x2, they're lined up. We'll see if that pace truck pulls off of turn number 3 this time by. There goes Larry. As it's Dylan Perry, Tater Williams taking us back to green at Lernerville, working lap number 29 of 100 in this Freedom 100 presented by SpringRithm.
Yep, and per usual, the broken record Dylan Perry, great on restarts once again, but Tater Williams got a knack for chasing him down, so that'll be a fun one to watch. Also in the middle of the pack, you got Kenny Haight. Oh, dropping down to 6 up from where he started. Oh, back and forth with Kendrick Hicks, so the KH acronyms just going back and forth at the moment, trying to get by Brandon Marlowe, who's dropped a little further than I expected pretty quickly since that caution.
And we've had 2 of those. Let's see John Benefield make contact there through turn number 2. We've had a couple single car incidences thus far, but you can still see the damage on some of these vehicles from beating and banging for position. Great racing here tonight at Lernerville. As out front, still Dylan Perry, but here's Tater Williams looking to the inside through 3 and 4.
Oh, no grip there. Oh, maybe. Man, he just held on while Dylan Perry, you thought would be a hard charger. He's going to see if he can slide back up. And it's Tater taking it right back.
So lap number 33 was the first lap led by somebody other than Dylan Perry, and it will be this lap as well, as Tater Williams able to complete that pass. An aggressive slide job in 3 and 4 will give him the lead, and now he sets sail as now Lassiter closes in on P7 of Dylan.
Yes, he does, and man, if we can get a good green flag run at this rate, wouldn't it be crazy if we get kind of that lap traffic back in the mix? But still too early to talk about this, but this is what we talked about just a few moments ago. If we get these heavy hitters together, Williams, Perry, McGlone, and then it just always feels like Lassiter is right there in the distance. You know, Jacob Lassiter, he's got 2 career wins. It would mean a lot if he could pull one off here. He's running where he started the race, so he's got some work to do. But some might say he's already done a lot of work just by, you know, staying where he's starting, just with that talent around him. So it is Tater Williams continuing to lead, and who knows, maybe this will scratch the itch and get him back involved.
So third caution of the night comes out. Looks like Evan Hinkle involved in this one. Got some damage to his rear there. So we'll get it lined back up. Made it to lap number 38 here for our third caution of the night. So Tater Williams will be the control car here for the first time tonight on a restart. Still have some drivers in the work area, it appears. Leadfoot Larry is checked out on the field. Looks like Josh Van Westen in the 20th position may still be in the work area.
Hard work being a race director and a racer, as we've seen with Cody Early, who's sitting right in front of him around that 19th or 18th position. We'll get them back to green shortly.
So we will go back to green out of turn number 4, working lap number 38 here at Lernerville. Perry looking to get back at that 182 as McGlone will look to the inside. He's back now into the top 3.
That's right. Movement coming up. There you go. Looking at John. Oh, caution.
As you see Evan Hinkle, his front clip working. As we'll get them lined back up here, our 4th caution of the night now here, still working lap number 38.
Now, as a reminder, after this race tonight, we will have a couple weeks of a break before we're back for the 3rd annual Show Me State 100 from Lucas Oil Speedway. It'll be race number 2 of 3 straight double points races. So yeah, I feel like we failed to mention that too much tonight, but not only is this, the 5th annual, edition of this race, but man, it's a heck of a battle in terms of what's to come in the next couple of weeks. It's the beginning of 3 double points races, and love to see that. And if you're watching on Extreme eSpeed TV and you haven't yet, like us on Facebook to keep up with all breaking news and updates.
Breaking news, Andy Piercefield currently in 19th. He's 1 lap down. He had power steering issues apparently and is currently off the track.
Kind of reminds me when the NASCAR Cup Series would do those virtual races, and Denny Hamlin's daughter turned the TV off on him, and that was kind of the night that's a big deal. Andy Piercefield really trending towards probably the top 5, maybe he'll win tonight, but the power outage will shut the lights out on that, at least for this week.
So line back up, ready to go back to green. 4th restart of the night. Green flag, Tater Williams able to get a good jump there, but Dylan Perry already to his inside as they head off into turn number 1. Austin McGlone looking to the outside of Dylan Perry for that 2nd position. As McGlone will settle into that 2nd spot. Back in the pack, Marlowe there. He's behind Lassiter and in front of Hicks. See Joshua Johnson as we get sorted out. Back to some single file running here as it looks like back towards a green flag run here of sorts. And we've seen that repeatedly, Adam, especially with these 100-lap races. Middle of the race, guys start to settle in, try to tick off some laps without getting too racy.
Yeah, you've got your set of drivers who right now have probably, they've got enough damage on there. They don't need any more. And so they're saying, okay, I need a clean run. But it puts you in a tough spot because, sometimes you got to be a little more aggressive to gain spots. And we're approaching that halfway mark with tires clearly worn a little bit at the least. So you don't want it to just be single file to the end, because then if everyone pushes at the end, there's going to be a lot of people who do not benefit from that strategy. So it is a very unique spot. This is a critical point of the race. This is that point in the race where you say, hey, remember when you did this back in lap 40, lap 50, lap 60? It may not be the winning move, but it's the one that's going to set you up for the most success for the rest of this run. So get a great overhead view there. Loving these camera angles.
We've got the drone shot out. You can see the gap on third place car that Tater Williams and Austin McGlone. Austin McGlone now settling in there in that second spot. Really there, this is the closest battle on the track currently. Cody Early, Kenny Haight, and Colin Voiles. This is all for the 10th position.
Yeah, getting a good look at those battles, but nothing too crazy right now. If you're just joining us, Andy Piercefield, Josh Van Weston, not having the night they expected, but you got 18 drivers who are battling very hard right now, getting a great on-camera view from Tater, and that's a pretty clean view right there of a machine that spent a lot of the beginning of this race chasing down Dylan Perry, and that was a lot of work, obviously, just to accomplish that, but his real work begins now, and that's staving off the competition for the next 50 laps as we are now officially halfway through this race from Lernerville.
And you can see from his on-car, you can see Evan Hinkle, Aiden Young, those guys are currently the last cars on the lead lap, running in 17th and 18th, so we'll see if this stays green for another 50 laps. Those cars could come into play up ahead. As you can see, single file here all the way through the field currently. As we'll go through the field, up front, Tater Williams up 2 spots. Was able to first take over the lead on lap number 33 from Dylan Perry. Up 5 spots from his 7th starting spot, Austin McGlone. Dylan Perry running 3rd currently. Jacob Lassiter in the 4th spot. Behind him in our 5th spot is Brandon Marlowe. He was our quick time and he was our pole sitter for this feature event. 6th behind him is that 28 of Brandon Combs. Kendrick Hicks in the 7th spot in front of rookie Tyler Benefield, who's up 4 spots. Our current butt kicker hard charger is John Hine, up 6 spots into the 9th position. And behind him, rounding out the top 10, is Cody Early. 11th, Colin Voiles, up 5 spots from his starting spot. Good night for him, as you have Kenny Haight and Dawson Lowe battling for the 12th position. Dawson making his first start in the Pro Late Model Dirt Series tonight. Brandon Bender runs in 14th in front of Joshua Johnson in 15th. Hayden Swanee in the 16th position. 17th is Aiden Young, and 18th is Evan Hinkle. So you can see that gap has closed up there, Adam, as the leaders can see the tail end of the field not far ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking we do maybe a bit of a ride along right here. I'm looking at some of the last laps on the board. You've got some sub 16s right now. So if we can find maybe one of these drivers who's, even Tater, like you said, he's one of the fastest sub 15s. But you're getting the guy, even towards the bottom, you've got, a 15.89 for Joshua Johnson. Guys battling hard and getting speed. So there's some quick time still being out there. The very fastest time we've seen tonight is your leader right there, Tater Williams. Also another sneaky one, 15.37 from Kenny Haight. So there's some guys who put down some quick times, and it may not show immediately right now in the final standings, but we still have 40% of this race to go.
As you can see, Brandon Marlowe holding off Brandon Combs, holding on to that top 5 position here as we work lap number 61. And Tater Williams has caught the tail end of the field. Hayden Swanee in that 18th position, looking to stay on the lead lap, and he will, I believe, as the caution comes out for Colin Voiles. You can see the damage to him. Kenny Haight also went off the track. And Hayden Young, just in the nick of time, will hold on. Oh, there's a tire on the track. And Hayden Swanee will hold on to that lead lap position.
Almost a guarantee when our boy Joey's watching that you're going to see a rogue tire somewhere on the track that is not meant to be there. So our 5th caution of the night. So getting things shuffled back up. Almost saw lap traffic come into play, and just in the nick of time, that did not really end up happening. It still could if we get another green flag run, but you see Tater right now running in the grass. Interesting, maybe cleaning some stuff up.
So, about 38 laps remaining. Here as we get ready to go.
So it looks like they're just about back to normal, and we are just about back to green here. From the 5th annual Freedom 100, presented by SpringRithm.
Green flag waves. Tater Williams. A great start by Austin McGlone as he's got... Oh, and Tater almost looked like he had an issue as McGlone will slide up. Tater will take it through the middle down the backstretch as things got racy on this 5th restart of the night.
Wow, almost said zoinks and took it right back.
So things get single file up front. You got to go back in the pack. As you can see, 3 wide off of turn number 4. Lowe, Young, and Hinkle all involved in that battle. The 22 of Brandon Bender watching on from the 15th position. This is the tightest battle on the track right now.
Yeah, my favorite battle to watch right now, quite honestly.
See out front, they've gotten spaced out here after that great battle to start this one. Dylan Perry's now fallen back into 3rd and fallen away from the leaders. Tater Williams breaking away here as Lassiter looking to now move and advance his position into a podium finish.
Yeah, it looks like Lassiter got pretty close there to Perry. He may have the quicker car from looking at times. Tater Williams still your fastest on these laps, and that's not news that the rest of the field wants to hear. As we are now 69 nice laps into this one.
Laps to go as our Buttkicker hard charger now is Aiden Young up 8 spots into 11th, looking at Johnson up ahead. Johnson not too far out in front of him there as he looks to hold on and stay near to that 10th position. As he's going to look under Johnson.
Ooh, not a good idea as he has to get back behind him there. and he's approaching the Hooters car.
So he's looking to the inside of Johnson, finally looking like he'll clear Johnson. Still to the inside of Johnson, not giving up yet. So
And Johnson will try to get between the Hooters car and Aiden Young, and it won't quite work there as Early holds the outside.
great run for Cody Early in that Hooters mobile. As Johnson still holding off Young. Great racing here. Best racing and closest racing currently on the track. So great to see this battle here, middle of the pack, and for a chance to come away with a top 10 here as we've got 25 laps remaining from Lernerville.
Yep, 3/4 down, 1 to go. Taylor Williams continuing to extend his lead. His last lap, a sub 16, which is faster than really the next, everyone behind him. He is the only driver putting down sub 16s in this point of the race, so you got to think he may be pushing those tires hard. Are those tires going to be this, reliable in the next 23 laps? Well, that's for us to find out together here on Extreme eSpeed TV, where we are grateful that you're tuning in with us. Oh, and that caution comes out. Maybe John Hine.
You can see the damage look like Colin Voiles, Hinkle, Lowe were all involved, as well as we've got 23 laps remaining. As you can see, Tater Williams, Austin McGlone all the way down there into the wet stuff. As Tater Williams, that was really the biggest lead he was able to grow out there on that last run.
Yeah, he's not going to show his cards all at once. He's going to kind of let it grow and to see where he can take it. And I think he'll be impressed kind of how he runs the last part of this race. Kind of that stamina a lot of these drivers have up front, kind of on full display right now as you see him getting in the dirt. He's got a strategy for everything he does, and I'm telling you, I don't know if he's just messing with the guys behind him, but I would follow suit.
So Tater Williams, our leader here. Second, Austin McGlone, Dylan Perry in third, Jacob Lassiter fourth, Brandon Combs in the fifth position. And we'll get them lined back up side by side here as we're coming to 22 laps to go.
So the lights look to be off now. We look to be heading back to racing action.
Green flag waves. Tater Williams takes us back to green. 22 laps to go. Austin McGlone looking to the inside. Dylan Perry down there as well. As we saw some great racing action the last green flag. Looking to repeat that as Tater Williams is able to clear, and now it's a 3-car battle for the second spot.
Whoa, another one going off the track. Another one literally bites the dust.
And that's Austin McGlone, so he'd been running up in the top 5 all night. Now he's back into the 8th spot with time running out. See Bender getting involved in that as well as Tater Williams able to clear. But Dylan Perry now in that 2nd spot with Lassiter in 3rd.
Yeah, now suddenly, Dylan Perry, he's going to make some moves. He's going to lay in the weeds, but you got to think the next 5 to 7 laps, he's got to start pushing a little harder.
19, now 18 laps to go, and Dylan Perry has a mirror full of that 51 of Lassiter as they are a second and a half behind our leader. This is currently the closest battle on the track. Everyone else spaced out here now during this latest restart.
And you know, with all this spacing, I don't know if we're going to see another caution. I know it sounds crazy for the last 20 laps of a race to go pretty cleanly, and I may be wrong by the time I finish this sentence, but this could be a pretty solid green flag run, barring something wild happening just with these gaps we're seeing.
Well, guys are starting to beat and bang each other out here on the track when they can get to them now, knowing that this may be their last chance at moving up through the field. As you see now getting tighter back in the pack. Kendrick Hicks leads this group of 4 guys. Tight racing. Oh, and McGlone will slide up in front of Hicks. McGlone will go off the backstretch.
McGlone rammed in the rear, and he's in the clear.
So Hicks tried to pull the slide job on Hicks. Hicks was there and closed that gap quickly. As now McGlone outside the top 10 and 11. Oh, Benefield will go over, and now guys are starting to press.
Oh, Benefield just joined a field.
And very quickly here, coming to a dozen laps to go.
Yep, sitting at a baker's dozen right now, and it is exactly what Tater Williams wanted to see. Is, oh, the 7th caution comes out.
And it's Cody Early who, oh, a lot of damage to that Hooters machine. That spoiler just continues to dangle there.
Well, those Hooters are going to need some work done.
As it flies off.
But no matter what, much like Dylan Perry, these restarts are where guys like Tater Williams tend to shine. So I don't know how nervous. If anything, it gives Tater Williams a chance to kind of readjust in the seat, take a quick sip of water, and just figure out what the game plan is for these last 12 to 13 laps. We appreciate you joining us for the Freedom 100, presented by SpringRithm, the 5th edition. And this could really shake up some of the standings. You know, it's not really going to benefit a kind of a one-time guy like Tater Williams, but Dylan Perry, if he can have a strong finish in a double points race like this, it can do great. I'll tell you what, Jacob Laster, it can do wonders. The higher up he goes, the more, man, this could really benefit him. Kind of on the flip side, these guys who we've seen jump off, you know, like a McGlone or a Benefield, could really hurt them on a night like tonight where you run so well, and it may not show that in the final standings.
So we will have 12 laps to go. Evan Hinkle, Cody Early still in the work area. As we get ready to go back to green, green flag waves. Tater Williams will jump out to the lead. Dylan Perry, a good start for him. He's able to close in on that 182 up ahead as Lassiter's right behind him. And don't look now, but there's that 28 of Brandon Combs looking to the inside as well.
Oh, man, we are getting down to nervous energy time. Oh, as you see that Combs machine fly up and kind of stop the momentum possibly, if some guys may have to brake check, and all that does is benefit Tater Williams. Lassiter still just glued to the backside of Dylan Perry, like you mentioned, Travis. Will he get by him? We're about to find out.
You can see that gap up to Tater Williams up ahead. Great racing from the second position on as Lassiter now trying to get back by that P7 machine. Great racing up front all night long as we're coming to 9 laps to go this time by. Oh, and another driver that's made his way up, Adam, Aiden Young, up into 7th. Now our Buttkicker hard charger leader. 12 spots coming on here late. Great run for him, along with Brandon Bender up ahead of him.
Man, look at these machines. They are covered in dirt. Makes sense for the Pro Limo Dirt Series, but man, this has been a battle. This has been a long, a lot of stretches where guys are up and they kind of drop. But like you said, Aiden Young shining right now. If he could crack the top 5, I think he'd be very satisfied with that result. But yes, Tater Williams still holding strong. Perry behind him, and really Lassiter, he's making a move right there. Gets in front, and Perry takes it right back.
So great battle here for second. Great battle back in this pack too. You can see nose to tail here. Caution flag will come out. And it's Tater Williams, our leader. Tater Williams goes off the track in turn number 4 with under 10 laps to go.
Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say. We knew these moments would happen.
Let's take a look at the replay. So out front all alone and just goes over that lip in 3 and 4 into the wall and into the pits.
Just heartbreaking. That, as a Minnesota sports fan myself, that feels like my life as I watch my life continue to crumble.
So that will hand the lead over to Dylan Perry. Lassiter will be second. Brandon Marlowe will be in the 3rd position. Green flag waves for Dylan Perry as we go back to racing action. 6 laps to go.
Perry, not one to give these up. I think Lassiter is going to try and give him a couple of swinging runs, but really, it is going to be very difficult. I'm sure Perry's had a little bit of a loss for words. Oh, 9th caution comes out.
So caution, breeding cautions here. As we will get them lined back up, get everything sorted back out here.
And that's a very dirty machine there, as we are just about wrapped up with the Freedom 100 double points race. And I guess, for Tater Williams, it's more of just a bummer overall, not in the championship point standings. So he was kind of doing this to see if he still got it, and I think he still does, but heartbreak still strikes even if you're not, competing for as much on the line. Still working to get things reset and running. Because it looks like you're just about cleared up with all the alignment.
So currently single file. We'll see if it stays that way for the latest restart. Green flag waves. Dylan Perry, the leader. Dylan Perry holding off Lassiter now here with 5 laps to go. The front two have broken away slightly from Brandon Marlowe in the 3rd spot. See nose to tail Lassiter right to the bumper of Dylan Perry as they cross the line. 4 laps to go.
Man, those machines, you can hardly tell what the sponsors are anymore, just how dirt-ridden they are. But they are going to push it to the very end with 3 laps to go.
Lassiter looking to he's able to get to that left quarter panel. Down the back stretch, nothing there. 3 laps coming to 2 laps to go. Time is running out for Lassiter and Marlowe to make a move on Perry. Through 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. Lassiter has 4 more corners for a chance at victory. He'll jump to the inside through 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to slide up in front of Perry.
Oh, he just can't hold the grip, and appreciate the attempt, but Dylan Perry almost there.
Through 3 and 4 for the final time. It's going to be momentum on the outside for Dylan Perry. Lassiter will wreck at the line. Marlowe involved.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that carnage is rough. Wow.
So it's Dylan Perry with the win. Our Buttkicker Hard Charger Award winner will be the 69 of Aiden Young. He'll finish 6th after starting 19th, up 13 spots. And of course, we'll talk to our top 3 finishers, Dylan Perry, Jacob Lassiter, and Brandon Marlowe. As Dylan Perry will go hit the scales and pull up into this Lernerville victory lane. Lassiter looking to celebrate with Dylan as he'll park it there on the front stretch. Brandon Marlowe coming home 3rd. And now we'll throw it over to Adam as he's got our 3rd place finisher, Brandon Marlowe.
That's right. Joined alongside Brandon Marlowe, finishing on the podium. And Brandon, all night long, you had a very fast, very competitive car. How do you feel? You know, I know it's still probably debrief time, but how are you feeling after a heck of a run?
Like I say, anytime you can get on the podium, it's always a good night. Long race, so just to be able to keep it in one piece, keep it on the track, not to drive over the top, and finish on the podium, it's a good night.
Did you feel at any point that this maybe could have been the night to get a win on the board for the season? It's a double points race, so you gain ground on a guy in front of you in the standings like Brandon Combs. Obviously, Dylan Perry extends his separation, but did you feel like there was a point at any junction of the race where you thought, hey, maybe this might be my night?
I mean, it's obvious how good Perry is in these races. So, at the beginning there, I was just going to let him set my pace and just, see how the tire wear played. And then got a couple, unfortunate cautions there, having to restart on the bottom, gave up some spots during those restarting on the bottom, and then just had to try to pick those back up as the race went, and then once the track slicked off, it just got one lane, just rolling the momentum around the top. But definitely could have done without a few of those cautions there restarting on the bottom. I think we'd had a better shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And, kind of looking forward, we got a couple weeks off, but then Lucas Oil Speedway for the Show Me State 100, another double points race, another 100-lap race. When do you start to really kind of, change your focus and start maybe running some practice laps on that?
We'll definitely hit up some practice, just occasionally between now and then. It's kind of hard to, pinpoint what to do as far as the fixed setup and what the track will do over 100 laps. And especially with this many cars, it always plays out a little different.
Absolutely. Well, before we let you go, I want to give you a chance to shout out those partners.
I just got to give a shout out to all the teammates at Hot Lap Heroes. Jacob, coming home there in second, so it was nice to have 2 cars on the podium. Shout out to Kenny for the wrap on the car. He always does an awesome job. Cody for putting this deal on, giving us a place to race, and you guys with the broadcast always doing an awesome job.
Awesome. We appreciate it, Brandon. Congrats again on a strong finish, and I hope we get to talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Brandon Marlowe, our 3rd place finisher. Now joining us, our 2nd place finisher, it's Jacob Lassiter. Jacob, you ran up front most of that race. Well, really all that race. You were in the top 3 or 4. Walk us through your night to a 2nd place finish. Jacob, got a copy? Jacob, it's Travis in the booth. Got a copy? As it looks like Jacob's having some connectivity issues. We'll try him again later. For now, we'll throw it down to Victory Lane. Adam, you've got Dylan Perry.
That's right. Joined by, once again, the winner, Dylan Perry. And Dylan, I think you're always gracious in winning and defeat, but this was a unique one with Tater kind of dropping out unexpectedly. Hey, how do you feel? I'm sure it's a bittersweet feeling, right?
Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. He hasn't been able to race with us much, so I mean, it's going to sound weird, but I was kind of pulling for him. I knew I didn't have the car to win it once he got out front, and he was setting a pretty good pace near the end. So I was kind of pulling for him right there.
How cool is it though? Speaking of Tater, speaking of Austin McGlone, at least for this series, hasn't been a lot of opportunities for us to see you three kind of at the top running so strong together. That had to feel kind of cool to kind of have the gang back together in a sense.
Yeah, that's what I told him after, I think it was qualifying when we were all in top 3. I was like, it feels like the old days again. So we all reminisced for a minute, but it was just cool to kind of think back to like last year and whenever McGlone first joined us, and just kind of see where we're at now, and it was kind of cool.
I feel like the race easy to follow tonight. I do kind of want to ask, talking about that group, and the questions we don't always get a chance to ask is, when it comes to like a Tater Williams or an Austin McGlone. Now, you guys, both through this, series and other things through, your personal life, you guys stay busy, that's for sure. But how often do you really get to, whether it's just practicing, hanging out, or doing other leagues, like? How often do you guys really get to interact and race next to each other? Is this one of those few times, or are you guys doing this in other areas as well?
This is one of the few times between my racing schedule. McGlone's always racing somewhere just about every weekend or 2 or 3 times a weekend. And then Tater, who just started racing this year too, we're all just so busy that it doesn't happen very often. I think this is the first time we've all been on the same racetrack at the same time and since this year started.
Awesome. Well, before we let you go, Dylan, heck of a run again. We got another double points race in a couple of weeks, so I'm assuming in one of these next couple of double race points we'll get to talk to you again. But if not, in the strange reason, we want to give you a chance to shout out those partners.
Yeah, first and foremost, I got to thank Andy and his whole family. Me and him put a bunch of work in this week, and I don't know what happened to him. I know he had enough pretty good pace set for this race, but I think something ended up happening. He wasn't able to finish it. But him and his whole family for everything they do virtually and in real life, I couldn't thank them enough. All you guys over at Extreme eSpeed TV, everybody over at Chip Bangers Racing, they help me week in and week out, whether we're racing or just talking about personal life. I definitely couldn't do it without those guys, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, Evans Air Conditioning, MSW Construction, Phantom Race Engines, FHP, SHP, DPR, Goat Farm Policy, just everybody that helps me week in and week out. I definitely couldn't do it without them, and hopefully we can pick up another one.
Awesome. Well, congrats again, Dylan. Thanks for your time as always, and hope you get a chance to celebrate this one.
Thank you. Hopefully so.
That's Dylan Perry, our winner. We'll try one more time. Jacob Lassiter, our second place finisher. Jacob, it's Travis in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
We were talking about how you ran up front all night long. Walk us through your evening to a second place finish.
I just try to save tires and kind of keep pace with the leaders. I have in times past in these big races, 100-lap races, dropped way back, but I got to worry about track position because it's so hard to pass here. And so I was trying to at least maintain but not lose a lot of ground. And I figured I had about the same that Perry had. I guess my computer was wore out after the race because it decided to kick me out. That's why I wasn't in here. But I don't know what tires he had, but I figured we're about the same because I kind of kept eyes on him all night because I knew he'd be towards the front. So if I could keep close to the 7, I'd have a chance at it.
Well, you had those chances there late in that one with the cautions. When you think back on those last few laps, is there anything you could have done different to try to get past Dylan? I know you made an attempt there on that last lap, but anything else that you'll lose sleep over tonight?
I might have could have thrown a slider earlier. I'm not real great at sliders, and I try to be as clean as I can. I know I've gotten back him a couple times. I had big runs, but certainly not trying to wreck anybody. Just racing hard, and I'm not real great at sliders. And I knew if I got in a slider fest with him, it was going to be flip a coin. And I figured he was getting really close to the edges in 3 and 4, and I thought maybe if he stepped over, I might drive under him and throw the slider in 1 and 2. But I knew on the last lap coming to the white, I had to do something. So I decided to try to do it in 1 and 2 and see if I could catch that grip up top and get a run. And like I said, it was close, man. Just bridesmaid again.
Well, great run, a great finish. Who are those people and who are those sponsors you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Just gonna give a shout out to all the Team Hot Lap Hero guys. I had a shout out to Kenny and Brandon who's in the race tonight. I think Kenny had some bad luck bouncing around off some people in the back, so I hate that for him. But Brandon had a podium, and that's good for him and the points and everything. So, like I said, hats off to those guys and their help, and give a shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Cody, as always, for putting the league on for us. Then I got to give a shout out to the wife for taking care of the little one.
Well, congratulations, Jacob. A good second place run tonight, and we'll talk to you again soon here on the Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
I appreciate it, guys.
Well, with that brings an end to another night of exciting racing action here on Extreme eSpeed TV. As always, thank you for tuning in. As I am Travis Pearsall, joined as always with Adam Johnson, we say good night and see you at a racetrack soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.